Hello everybody, the Story here, and welcome to my first cast of Battlefield 1. So, I have not casted this before, like I said. Not at least a real game. I've done the campaigns, of course. But I decided to try my hand at doing these, so I'll be doing that. Today we have Principino as Isengard in the top left, and the opposing team Limited as Gondor. So, Gondor going for Pippin and some soldiers here. He'll be sending them out immediately. This game is very important to send your guys out, of course, and capture farm plots and such. Principino sending his guys out there, his Isengard troops. He has one barracks at the moment. No farms or anything in his base, nothing like that. Of course, you could always go around and capture these farm points, which is what you're supposed to do. I'm not really familiar with Battlefield 1, if I'm honest, but from what I've seen so far, I got the gist of it, more or less, kind of. We do have Elven Wood purchased as the power for Limited, and it does give the 40% armor. All enemy units lose leadership bonuses, does not affect heroes. And then, of course, you have War Chant, which does 50% damage and armor on units for the other team here. So yeah, like I said, this is my first cast. I won't be doing too many 1.0. This is 1.06, by the way, in case you're wondering, of Battlefield 1. But I won't be doing too many of these. They'll be kind of sporadically thrown in my content, like 1.08 casts for Battlefield 2. So I'm mainly a Rise of the Witch King caster, of course. But I do like to branch out a little bit. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. As I'm not too familiar with Battlefield 1 or how even multiplayer works in this game, we'll just kind of be observing a little bit. I'll be kind of commenting on what's going on. Yeah, assuming I know what's going on. But it seems Gondor has got that farm point. That's his base right there. He has this farm here. Isengard going for lumber mills. Lumber mills are pretty good in as you get trees, of course, and you get leveled up as they gather, of course. Things in Battlefield 1, if you're not aware, you have to build troops in order to actually rank up this your stables or your barracks. Gondor going for stables there, as you see. He's getting some Gondor Knights out there. And then he's going for a Gondor Blacksmith. Gondor Blacksmith upgrades over time, since you can't build units out of it. But basically, you build units out of your production buildings, and they start to level up. See, this has rank 1, he's got to here. So the more guys he builds out of it, the faster that will level. It's a strange leveling system, if I'm honest. It encourages you to lose your troops, which, in my opinion, is a little strange. But hey. Pippin over there killing some lumber mill guys, lumbermen. Also taking out some Uruk-hai there, but he probably might be brought down there. He does need to run. Some Gondor Knights coming to save him. Cavalry in this game do take damage when they trample, which is also a little different feature if you're not aware. Principino pushing out aggressively. He is taking the Sword Glare. Isengard does have troops everywhere. And he has the lumber mills all over the place as well, which is really what he wants to do. Gondor Limited is harassing this lumber mill here. He will be taking that pretty easily. There are some pikes there, though. He does need to get out of there. Looks like Gondor is going for more farms up in the north there. Isengard's gone right next to his base and literally put a lumber mill there. Isengard's doing quite nicely, actually, spreading out his lumber mills there. Troll chasing them off. Seems he goes pretty far away from his lair, doesn't it? Not used to that, that's for certain. You have a battle tower here in Isengard's base. Isengard has gone for a lot of these furnaces. Furnaces give you a steel bonus, which is, you see, reduced costs of upgrades and siege weapons. So, there is a slaughterhouse, I believe, which provides foods as a resource instead of steel, and this one gives you reduced cost of War Riders if he was going for War Riders. He doesn't have any though. He is getting a Warg Pit though. So Principino will be using Warg Riders very shortly. But they will not get reduced cost because he does not have any slaughterhouses, of course. There's a Warg chasing down some Gondor Knights there. He does. He is building well here. Limited. I keep forgetting who it is. I do like the Gondor Citadel area. It's pretty cool looking. So he does have his Gondor Blacksmith up. It will continue to rank up over time, of course. He has built enough Knights to get to rank 2. You need rank 2 for this Knight's Shield upgrade, which is 75% piercing armor. Very good against crossbows, of course. So I don't understand why he has 3 of these. Or 4 even. That's something I don't know. Maybe that reduces the cost of his upgrades? I honestly have no idea. Or maybe they produce steel. Oh, I see. The more blacksmiths you have, reduce cost of upgrades. 40% if you have 6. Okay, gotcha. See, I don't know some things. I've literally just loaded this up, decided to cast it. Okay, there you go. Principino pushing out some Warg Riders and some pikemen here. Going to do a little damage, of course. There is a outpost here that could be claimed. This farm will be taken out. Battle of Familiar 1 is definitely different from Battle of Familiar 2, it's gotta be said. I'm sure you've all well aware of that. The building system is totally different. You can't, there's no stances. I mean, there's kind of stances. There's wedge formation, which you could change to actually get more damage, less armor. I guess it's kind of the same in a way there. Just not quite aggressive stance, defensive stance, and or hold ground stance rather, and normal stance. They do still have their porcupine. You can tell the units to guard a specific location as well. These Warg Riders chasing off the men here. These Gondor Knights will have to run, of course. The Wargs probably do more damage, I'd imagine. They do still have Howl, which gives 60% damage. Doesn't look like any major skirmishes have happened yet. I'm sure they will at some point, though. No doubt. Just a lot of farm harassment. Control is wrecking these guys. That sucks. He did lose a battalion there. He does have Lurts, though. So Principino going with Lurts. He does a cripple, which is on cooldown. He wants to use it at something. I'm assuming you can't cripple. No, it's enemy hero. Maybe Gondor had a hero, and he pinned him down and killed him. It's possible. Also, you won't see any Rohirrim, of course. This is Battle of Middle-earth 1, where Gondor and Rohan are 2 different teams. So that's another thing. Some Gondor Knights with Forge Blaze upgrades looking to attack Principino's base here. He does actually use Cripple Strike on regular units. That's a little weird. Ah, we got a power here. That horn is the summon of an ally's power. And he has used his Elven Wood underneath as well. Gonna do a lot of damage there. Isengard has gone for Industry, which gives 100% resources from selected structures for a short period of time. So if he throws it down here, it will give all of them that. Which is pretty nice, of course. Elf's doing a lot of damage, or, well, Gondor doing a lot of damage with his Elf Summon. Zoom in a little bit there. Looks like a heal went down. Probably to heal up whatever is in here. I guess all the units in general. But this Elven Warrior Battalion summon is pretty good. So limited, maybe a good choice there, I'd say. Those archers are quite nice. I've always loved the Elven Warrior model. I always thought that should have been the Elven Archer model for Battlefield Middle-earth 2. I just think they look really good. But they're not. Lurtz does have to flee here. He's in Carnage mode. He could potentially go back into bow mode and start picking off some guys if he wanted to. Or he could play it safe and stay back. This Uruk-hai pit might go down here. It does have access to Isengard Berserkers and Pikes. But that will fall there. That does cut off the production of Isengard though. So that's not ideal for him. He has some Pikes over here guarding his lumber mill. Limited going around pillaging as much stuff as he can with his cavalry. He does have that at his advantage. Of course, Isengard has cavalry as well, so he could do the same. As I'm sure they will. I'd imagine this game is more about destroying your opponent's economy. But let's take a look at economy actually. Limited has 2,000 resources, 200 command point limit. Isengard has 400 command point limit and almost 6,000 resources. So Isengard definitely feeling the effect of the industry and the lumber mills all over the place. He does lose a lumber mill over here though. Those laborers will be chased down and picked off swiftly. Limited taking out a thing up here. He's starting to gain the ones in his area a little bit. Looks like Isengard has actually taken this citadel and he is recruiting Saruman from it. That will be bad for Limited. Hopefully Saruman comes out before that thing goes down. It looks like he will. And Saruman should be able to defend that, I would imagine, from a few units of cavalry. He's already rank 5, so I guess he's been out on the field. Or maybe he just comes out rank 5, but I'm pretty sure that's probably not a thing. Do the men of the West have any heroes? I don't see any on the mini-map. We do still have Lurtz, of course. Over here, he is level 4. And now we have Saruman. Saruman could make a huge difference here. He does have Wormtongue, which temporarily gains control of target enemies, which is pretty useful. Of course, he gives experience to enemy units. He does have leadership in this game, though. So, leadership bonus and fear and vulnerability to enemy troops, 30% armor and 100% combat experience. Pretty nice buff to have. So Saruman's great to have with your army, of course. We have a bit of an attack here. Some Gondor Knights with the Forged Blades, of course, doing pretty good damage here. Isengard losing a few structures here that I'm sure he does not want to. These towers aren't the best towers, but they do help. Yeah, let's actually use Cripple Strike on regular units, which is strange because it says literally pins hero in place. So I'm not sure why he would auto-cast that on units. Just a weird quirk, I guess, that I'm not aware of. So how much is his upgrade cost, I wonder? We'd have to find a unit that it hasn't been used yet. Sounds like some elves have been summoned down here. I do like that elven summon horn sound it plays. It's a very cool sound. War horns in general are just very cool. I do like them quite a bit. Isengard still has this outpost up here. Hasn't done anything with it though. He could actually build some slaughterhouses or furnaces or even an Uruk pit up here if he wanted to. But he is opting not to do so. Isengard going to get rid of this farm right next to his area. Probably for the best. Looks like these knights will be chasing down these Wargriders. The Wargriders using Howl. They use a purple effect when they use their Howl, so it's very... You can definitely tell they're under the effect of Howl. Pretty cool. I like that. So these lumber laborers will be retreating elsewhere to go work, since their place of their vocation has been destroyed. Looks like some Wargriders being picked off there. Gandalf being recruited out in the field. He is rank 5 already. Maybe he can't... Do wizards come out at rank 5 or something? Because, like, when I first look at Saruman come out, he's rank 5. When I first look at Gandalf come out, he's rank 5. It's possible. Gandalf, of course, gives leadership as well. 50% armor, 200% combat experience. He has lightning sword, wizard blast, and mount. And, of course, he has Asari. Actually says the stats when he mounts. 25% armor for footmen and cavalry, minus 50% armor versus archers and pikes. And of course he has Asari Light and Word of Power like he normally does. He's generally the same, except for he has a Wizard Blast. Not Wizard Blast. Leadership. I mean, it makes sense for Gandalf and Saruman to have leadership. They are the leaders, more or less. I mean, Gandalf isn't exactly a leader, but he is more or less, I would say. He does lead the Men of the West to victory in a lot of different ways. Alright, well, Isengard's army is looking a bit fierce. He has some upgraded pikemen and crossbowmen in here. He has access to pikemen and crossbows, Urukai, and then berserkers. And then he has war graders. That's pretty much the gist of Isengard's roster, aside from ballistas, I believe. Maybe battering rams. There is a smaller amount of units you can get, generally speaking. Although it's about the same as Battlefield Middle-earth 2, I'd suppose. If you think about it. The Men of the West, of course, can get Gondor Rangers, which are basically Athelian Rangers in this. And Gondor Archers, of course. You can get the Knights. Cannot get the Rohirrim. And from a barracks, you can get pikes and swordmen, tower guards and swordsmen. So that is the unit roster for them. They don't. Men of the West don't have a. I'm keep calling them Men of the West because I'm used to Battlefield 2. Gondor does not have a barracks though of any kind, so he won't be getting any frontline melee troops as he doesn't seem to need them, I guess. Gondor has taken this outpost though. He could get Boromir, Faramir, or Pippin if he wanted to, if he had the economy or the command points. Which could be good. So we might be building up to a big battle here. Isengard building up a lot of pikemen and war riders, getting ready for something. Gondor has built 2 towers here in his base. Battlefield Middle-earth 1 bases are very modular. They have build plots where you just click and you build something. You can build trebuchets, postern gate, or a battle tower on the walls there. He has gone for battle towers. Obviously doesn't really need a postern gate. He has a regular gate he can open and close at will, which does give him a slight advantage against Isengard, who does not have any wall of any kind or any gate. They are very open, so cavalry is pretty hard to stop from running into your base, as you might imagine, when you're Isengard. There's another elf summon. I'll be picking off guys there. These can also be switched to swords if you want to. There's Fireball by Saruman there. Does kill quite a few knights there out of that level. Is it 5? Is that the max for this game? Let me click on the right unit here before it dies. No, it's rank 9. I'm guessing you can go to rank 10. That's pretty high up there. So yeah, rank 10 could be pretty good for them. He does need to send that back and heal up. He is ranking up a lot of his cavalry though. As you see, they are actually taking down the things that they counter. So Isengard losing pikes to cavalry, which is kind of gotta be a strange situation. Gondor has also taken this outpost to the southern region of Isengard. So Pino will be looking to get rid of that. And Limited is taken here as well. Getting a few statues. Statues do give a leadership bonus to nearby units, just like normal. Hero bonus, reduced cost of heroes for the more statues you get. So it's not units that get cheaper in this, it is actually heroes. So the more statues you get, the cheaper Boromir will become, and Faramir. I would love to see Boromir out in the field, or Faramir. I don't know if they're any good. I'd imagine Boromir's still pretty good. I believe he still has the horn as the old freeze. We do have some battering rams out from Isengard though. Possibly Pino looking to do a siege here. This could be interesting. And Saruman is level 5 still. Looks like he levels up pretty slow. Maybe he hasn't seen enough combat, I'm not sure. That's possible. He doesn't have a horse, so he can't exactly ride around like Gandalf can. And I probably have my sensitivity from my mouse up a bit too high, but I'll live with it. And now he'll take a lot of arrow damage here. They tank him pretty nicely though. These don't have fire arrows or anything. You can't upgrade them with fire arrows. These battering rams do need to get rid of all these towers and possibly the gate as well. The gate will be closed at some point, I'd imagine. Seems they're having a bit of trouble. Eventually maybe he will actually be able to attack. There we go. Is he hitting it or is he hitting the wall? It looks like he's hitting the wall. He is hitting the wall, in fact. So you can break the wall pieces itself. I don't think you can rebuild those wall pieces either. Meanwhile, while Isengard is sieging there is an attack on Isengard's base. Gandalf and some Gondor knights have made their way into Isengard's base. Some eagles were summoned in. Eagles quickly dying to the might of the crossbows though. Gandalf is pinned here. He will go down, I'd imagine. Unfortunately for... Oh, there's a nice heal there. Gandalf will be allowed to escape. Lucky for Limited there. Just in the nick of time, had a heal ready. So good for him. Looks like Isengard's attack has been foiled. And I guess you can actually repair it, but it is very expensive. 2,000 resources to repair your base there, your walls. Gondor has 2,000, but does he want to spend it rebuilding a wall piece? Possibly not. Isengard does have a devastation there. He has tainted land, which gives 40% armor and things with leadership. All enemies use leadership. Bonus for 3 minutes. That's what freezing rain does. Devastation, of course, turns trees to resources. And then he has Vision of the Palantir, which spies, but it also gives 15% speed for heroes, archers, including combos, which means you can combine your archers with your melee battalions for whatever reason you would want to do that. And artillery and wargs. So everything would get more speed under the area, which is pretty cool. And we obviously had the Eagles summoned there for a limited Gondor player. He had some Elven allies. He has Gandalf the White, which is the power you can buy. Let's take a look at that. 300 health, 100% damage from Gandalf's power. His power recharges twice as quickly. So that's amazing to get for Gandalf, of course. I think that's pretty high up in the tree, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, I can't actually look. Elven Wood, of course, and Heal. And he has a 200 command point limit. That might be his max. I think Isengard actually just gets double the command point limit by default of a... I think evil teams get double the command point limit because they're more of a horde thing than the Men of the West. Gondor and Rohan, of course. The 4 teams in this game are Gondor, Rohan, Isengard, and Mordor, if you weren't aware. So no goblins, no Angmar, no elves. All you have is the elf summon as far as elves are concerned. And you have the elven archers, I believe they're the upgraded archers for Rohan. So there's a spattering of elves, but they're not really a faction themselves. It's definitely very different. It is nice to see the roots of Valfamilor 2, though. See things that apparently those towers are garrisonable. You did have some Gondor rangers in there. Will be swiftly picked off here by these upgraded crossbows. And he does lose his outpost here. Which is an unfortunate loss for him. Limited does still have this outpost here, and I believe he still has this one here as well. Yes, he does, and he also has the northern outpost here as well. So there's a lot of places where he can build wells and heal up his armies around the map. I'd say Gondor is definitely taking the advantage in this game. He's starting to get a bit stronger. He has a little bit more map control than Isengard now. So things definitely swinging in Gondor's favor, I'd say. And nice big attack here on Isengard's base. Principino is going to lose a lot of structures here. He's going to lose these buffed up furnaces, which is not good for him, of course. Don't want to lose those, but he will indeed. These leveled up Gondor Knights do a lot of damage. It's definitely got to be said, they are pretty beastly. Who needs Rohirrim when you have Gondor Knights? Although those battalion will be picked off. Nice fireball from Saruman. Could also Wormtongue if he can manage to get it off. Wouldn't be too bad. There it goes. Let's see if he manages to grab him. Nope, he cancels it before it happens because he would have missed. He did move away. Isengard, of course, is going to rebuild his base. Have to work on getting these things back up. These ones are level 3, which is nice, of course. The higher up level it is, it gets a battle tower as well as just makes more money in general. So that would be good for him. I wonder if the music of this game is copyrighted. It's a valid question. You may get a copyright claim on this and then end up having to replace the music in future casts. We'll see. But not important right now. Warguard is being sent out to try and engage here. Nope, he won't. And this lumber mill will probably be taken out. These Gondor Knights, they are ranked 9 now. Quite leveled up. Is he going to send them there? Nope. Ooh, summon eagles once again, sent into Isengard's base. We do actually pick off Saruman though before getting killed, so the White Wizard's dead. Oh, a nice army is dead. That is unfortunate for Isengard. That's going to do a lot of damage. They do a fair amount of damage against structures apparently in this. And the time remaining is generous, so Isengard is in a lot of trouble. All Gondor has to do really is send in the rest of his army. Oh, no, there you go. IlPrincipino has been defeated. And Limited has won that game. So yeah, that was that. Pretty cool actually. I did enjoy that. It's very different to see a Battle for Middle-earth 1 game, but I will be doing these on occasion, like I said. Just like 1.08 games of Battle for Middle-earth 2. Little spatterings here and there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next cast of Battle for Middle-earth 1. See you next time.